Hello and welcome to this quick video for those of you that have asked me about how you connect receivers into something like this NEXUS-X. This is a flight controller that was originally developed for rotor flight to sit in the back of little helicopters. There's the NEXUS-X, which is this, and also the NEXUS-XR, which has an inbuilt express LRS receiver in it. These are only the same size as a little PWM receiver, but they're a full flight controller. And I asked for the iNav team to develop a target for it, and they did. So in iNav 9, you can now use this in a fixed wing, a quad, whatever you want, plane, boat, whatever iNav supports. And there is minimum amount of soldering because all the pins are done. Now, one of the things that I've been asked quite a lot on, and I haven't done a video yet, I'll put a link down below to the entire series of videos that cover this, is how do you connect up receivers into a NEXUS-X that doesn't have an inbuilt receiver in it? Dead easy, standard iNav stuff. There is an entire iNav for Beginners 2026 series. I'll link that below if you want to know much more about how iNav works in depth and how you set it up. But this time we're going to talk about how you connect either a CRSF receiver, and that's typically going to be modern Express LRS, or so it could be things like Crossfire or Tracer, and also how you configure the SBUS input. If you have an older receiver that just outputs SBUS, you can use either or, and it's dead simple. So let's jump on the bench. Let me show you how to do it. So let's start with CRSF first. This is pretty standard stuff. Now, as I've mentioned in the introduction, there are these ports at the side. You can choose whichever you want. I'm using port C here at the side, which is going to be UART3. I have wired it up to an Express LRS receiver. Now, of course, this doesn't have to be Express LRS. It could be anything that's going to talk one of these protocols like CRSF. So it could be Crossfire, Tracer, or whatever else. I've just grabbed this receiver out of the spares bin. However, be aware, just track how these cables are connected. I'll put an image up here to help you see it a little bit more clearly. The receive pin on the receiver is a white cable, and that's going into the end connection on the port on the Nexus. So just be aware of that. So it appears on the ports on the Nexus to be ground, 5 volts. Then it goes receive and transmit. And just be aware of that. I have seen a couple of images where those labels have been the wrong way around. I have reported it to RadioMaster. Now, what we need to do is turn on the radio. Now we've got that wired up as you'd expect. And what we're going to do is plug in the Nexus into the computer. That's going to start. And now it's connected on the computer. I'll show you how we've done it. So we're going to click on connect. We're going to go into the port settings, and we can see here that UART3, which is where the receiver is connected, is set up as a serial receiver. That's all that's done on here. Then in the receiver tab, all we've done is we've set the receiver type to be serial and the protocol to be CRSF. And now as I move the sticks on the radio, they all move in iNav. So this is really easy and straightforward. The only thing to be careful of is make sure the receive pin on your CRSF receiver is connected to the transmit pin on your NEXUS-X and vice versa. So now that's done, let's talk about SBUS. I've configured the Express LRS receiver as SBUS and then connected the SBUS cable, just the 3 pins going from the Express LRS receiver into the SBUS input on the Nexus, because when it's plugged into a USB cable, these pins on the outputs here are not powered. I've also plugged in a 5-volt battery illuminator circuit, so this is powered up. So now we have everything connected as SBUS. What have I had to do with that? Well, just to prove it works, if I move the sticks on the radio, you can see it all moving inside here in iNav. And then you see we've selected the serial receiver provider as SBUS. And then what I've done in the ports tab is I have turned on serial receiver for UART1. And UART1 is those auxiliary and SBUS pins at the end. So now it knows it needs to take the receiver inputs from those pins, and that's how it's all working. One little wrinkle, of course, is because the auxiliary and SBUS pins have been configured for a receiver, it means they're no longer available to be configured as PWM outputs. So if we just go into the mixer tab and go down, this last timer here timer 4 for S8 and S9, which are the auxiliary and SBUS pins, you won't be able to use those for any PWM stuff. So you are going to sacrifice that. However, it does mean that if you want to use older receivers with an SBUS connection, you absolutely can. Just configure UART1 as serial receiver, put SBUS in the receiver mode, and then as you move the sticks on the radio, everything is going to work. Thank you for watching my video. Check out the playlist, and adding Painless 360 to your search terms will help you find my content. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. You can support the time I spend here answering questions and helping others by using the links in the video description.